So I was actually standing outside of the delivery room when they brought Hazel out. They brought her out into another room, so I walked next to Hazel as she walked, and she was very pale. I could see her heartbeat, and she was breathing at the time, but she looked very, very pale, and they said that she lost a lot of blood, but they were gonna be able to work with that, and it's gonna be fine. The anesthesiologist comes in and says, sorry to have to tell you this, but your daughter's receiving CPR right now. And the only thing going through my mind is, how do I tell my wife, who just came out of surgery, that we just lost our daughter? And I know it's like a really negative way to think, but that was the first thing that went through my mind. Luckily, we didn't have to do that. They performed 45 minutes or so CPR, did it very successfully. So it was about 6 hours after birth when the Duke team showed up. Duke Medical was actually people that flew Hazel to Wake Med, and the whole time they reassured me everything's gonna be fine. I asked, hey, can we wheel her into Shasta's room? She hasn't seen her yet. They were totally okay with that. They were great when they brought her into Shasta's room. They totally took down one side of the incubator so Shasta and her could hold hands and meet for the first time, which was a very powerful moment. So having to watch her get wheeled out of the hospital and put on a helicopter was, again, not something that I'd ever thought was going to happen. So it was very, very difficult for me, because I always thought, I could protect her. She's going to skin her knee, of course, because all kids do, but I can protect her from the bad stuff. But right off the bat, I was kind of put in check, hey, you can't stop everything. So. When I went up there the following day on Monday, they offered me the Ronald McDonald room, and at that time I didn't have Shasta with me. And I said, well, I like that option a lot. Thank you. I'm really glad it's available for us. But at this time, I'm going to decline, just because I'm not with my wife. I need to be between both places. And then we also didn't want to take the room from somebody who maybe needed it more than us, because we didn't realize that Hazel was, as sick as she was.
So she was 4 days old when I finally got to hold her, and this was right after we'd raced up there, because we got a phone call that morning saying that they found some air in her stomach cavity, and so they thought, they were suspicious that there was some perforations in there. And I was holding her, and I remember thinking, finally, but then also we were holding her because we thought we might have to say goodbye. Because the worst case scenario for that surgery was that they couldn't fix anything, and that this was kind of our last chance this was a kind of a, it was hello and goodbye at the same time for us when we held her. But it was wonderful, but it was really bittersweet too, because I didn't know if I would hold her alive ever again. So she had 3 surgeries while she was in the NICU, and she went home after 36 days.
I credit the Ronald McDonald room with Hazel's speedy recovery, because Shasta and I were able to be so present for her and just give her that continuity that babies need.
I don't know what we would have done. I mean, we would have made the drive, right? We would have gone bankrupt staying in a hotel if we had to, but we didn't have to do that because there are enough people that care.